This just in, Christian nationals are now getting Trump's name on their forehead because they never read Revelation 13, because no Christians actually read their Bible. Revelation 13 says that the beast will cause all who refuse to worship his image to be unalived, and it will force all people, great and small, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive the mark on their right hand or on their forehead, so that they could not buy or sell unless they had the mark, which is the name of the beast or the number of its name. Ironically, they're also making golden statues to look like Donald Trump.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this episode, we'll concentrate on Make America Great Again cult. MAGA shows its political power inside the Republican Party. Americans keep arguing about the MAGA cult, which has brought mixed reactions from American citizens. Let's watch the above videos.
Trump, and some of them, ironically or unironically, are literally worshiping the statues, but it's not
politics. Cults are defined by extremist fringe beliefs, isolation from society, and a leader that is both the driving force and defining element of the group. No checks and balances on the leader's power, no questioning the leader. The leader is to be worshipped. They are the authoritarian. And this is it. It's not that MAGA is like a cult. It's that cults are like MAGA because they're both authoritarian. On the surface, it seems like MAGA checks all three boxes. But you'll notice that Trump will actually morph what he says to please his audience. A true cult would never boo the leader, like the Trumpies boo him whenever he talks positively about vaccines. The Fox News Facebook echo chamber, it's bad, but it's not quite cult-level isolation from society. And sure, if you leave MAGA, some Trump supporters will cut you out of their life, but most won't. So it's not that MAGA is a cult, it's that cults are authoritarian. Like MAGA.
That's a good question. So let's look up what makes a cult to begin with, and then we can apply that to the MAGA movement. The first thing is charismatic leadership. Cults often center around a charismatic leader who demands absolute obedience and loyalty. Check. Intense devotion. Members exhibit excessive loyalty and devotion to the leader, ideology, or belief system, often to the exclusion of other relationships or perspectives. Check. Control and manipulation. Cults often employ manipulative tactics to control members' thoughts, behaviors, and lives, often isolating them from outside influences. Well, if you're only watching Fox News and Newsmax, check. Authoritarian structure, check. Isolation, check. Extremely dogmatic beliefs. Cults often hold to very dogmatic and extreme beliefs that are not open to questioning or critical inquiry. Check. Potential for harm. Cults can pose both physical and psychological risk to members, leading to financial exploitation, emotional abuse, and even physical harm. Well, there are plenty of news stories out there right now that would confirm that as well. So check.
Hey allies, hey liberals. Stop telling transgender people, gay people, marginalized folks to unite with the people that are just now leaving the MAGA cult. Just don't. Stop it, please. Because those people, they're just as transphobic, they're just as racist, they're just as xenophobic and homophobic and all of the phobics. They're still just as ableist as they were on November 5th. It's just that now they're losing their jobs and their Medicaid, and they're watching their, the benefits they rely on. They're watching those get cut. They're watching their veteran pappies lose their health care. They're watching so much of what they took for granted because liberals fought for those things. They're watching them go away. And they're scared. So no, we're not going to invite them to the table. And if you want to invite them to yours, that's great, but you're going to stop getting invited to ours. Because seating those people at the same table as your marginalized friends is how you're going to end up getting us hurt.
Let me tell you the story of a mindless Trump cultist named Robert McCabe, a dumbass Trump voter who is currently in the finding out phase. Check this out. Hundreds of Philadelphia IRS employees were laid off on Thursday by 34-time convicted felon Donald Trump and his drug-addled fellow narcissist and unconstitutional co-president Elon Musk. Alex J. Berman, the executive vice president of the National Treasury Employees Union, Chapter 71, told NBC News that hundreds of Philadelphia probationary IRS workers have already received their layoff letters. Berman expects a total of 400 employees in all to be laid off in this round of cuts. Quote, "The letters are willfully incorrect and to our belief unlawful," Berman told NBC News. Quote, "They say essentially your abilities, skills, and performance do not make you a fit for federal employment. In addition, your performance is not up to par." This is patently untrue. These are all being issued with the exact same wording to every single one of these probationary employees, even if they have just gotten out of training and had no performance metrics, or whether they've been here for almost the entire year and had very good performance appraisals. One of the laid-off IRS employees, the aforementioned dumbass Robert McCabe, told NBC News that he went into work on Thursday and had issues logging in. He and his coworker sat around and waited for instructions. He then received the layoff letter shortly before 11:30 a.m. McCabe said that he had been a supporter of President Trump prior to the layoff. So, okay, what's the problem? This is what you voted for, right? He continues, quote, "You know, when he talks about government waste and all, yes, I'm behind it. So what are you complaining about, Bob? You wanted Trump to cut waste, right? Well, guess what? You're the waste. I know, you expected everyone else to lose their jobs, just not you. I mean, you voted for Trump. He'd never fire you, right? The leopard you voted for would never eat your face, right, Bob? Idiot." Anyway, McCabe said, quote, "I believe there is a lot of stuff in the government that needs fixing. And that's part of the reason why I actually wanted to work for the government. To help change the things that are wrong in the world, you know? Well, guess what, Bobby? The convicted criminal that you voted for decided that you are what's wrong in the world. How do you like that? You know, Bobby, working for the federal government is a pretty sweet gig. The pay is really good. The benefits are fantastic. Sure sucks that Trump took that all away from you. But again, this is what you voted for. Maybe you were too stupid to realize that that's what you were voting for, but that's what you were voting for. And we tried to warn you. I mean, we tried, but you wouldn't listen. You did your own research, right, Bobby boy?
And fight this wickedness. Because the next cataclysm will be nuclear. Good luck.
Okay, hey, the best part of MAGA being in a cult is that you don't need any facts. In fact, they hate those. You just have to repeat something enough to where it becomes a reality for them. So keep saying it. MAGA is a cult. It's a cult. If you're MAGA, you're a cult member. Cult.
So the line that all the maggots are going with is, sure, the tariffs are making things worse now, but in the future, they'll be better. It's for the greater good. What? First of all, bullshit, but that's a whole other video. But most importantly, do you think we just forgot 2020? The entire reason why the COVID pandemic got as bad as it did, why COVID is just everywhere now, why we have new variants all the time, why we have to get booster shots every year, why immunocompromised people are basically just locked in their homes forever, is because maggots did not want to sacrifice anything. Rather than doing lockdowns, or wearing masks, or getting vaccines, Republicans threw a hissy fit and sent their politicians on TV to say that Grandma and Grandpa should just die so that people can continue to eat at Applebee's. And now, as we are facing mass layoffs, increasing prices on everything, and a freaking economic depression, Republicans are saying, oh, we have to come together to get through these dark times. Dark times that they are causing! It's a cult. It's a cult. And they are only saying this now to keep the cognitive dissonance from popping their heads like eggs in a microwave.
Having watched the above videos, it's clear enough Americans strongly argue about the MAGA being a cult. What do you think about these allegations? Leave a comment and let's engage, and don't forget to like, subscribe and share. Thank you, family.